Hello, this is Saturday morning. Today is an election day here in Louisiana, and we've got a whole bunch of folks running for the 5th District congressional seat that Rodney Alexander retired from recently. And I am certain that there's a number of those guys who are really good men. But I have watched the Libertarian candidate, his name is Henry Herford. In 2012, we all went to the Louisiana Republican Caucus convention over in Shreveport. And Henry Herford was elected to be the chairman of that convention. And the establishment Republicans sicked the guards that they were paying on Henry, who rushed him and broke his hip, then tried to file criminal charges on him. That is the establishment Republican. That's sort of like textbook establishment. You know, the Democrats do the same thing. They've got a lockdown on the power structure from the local all the way through the federal level, and they will not let go. And if you notice, we are in a constant state of downward spiral. We're getting worse off by the day. They're passing things that are absolutely going to enslave your progeny. Your great-great-great-grandchildren will probably have jackboots on their neck if we don't start doing something different. And I tell you right now, electing an establishment guy, whether he's Republican, Democrat, or Libertarian, or, you name it, is not going to work. We have got to, especially from that congressional level down, we've got to start thinking for ourselves. And, literally, I do not believe not one word that comes from the mainstream media anymore. So you can sort of judge how good a candidate you have by the press that they receive. If there's any kind of favorable press at all, that person is probably an establishment person, and they will probably continue exactly what you've got right now. Look, the Republicans and the Democrats have literally shipped our industry out of this nation. Then you take the regulatory controls that are typically installed by the left, and there's a pretend fight, of course, by the right. But I was talking to some people yesterday over at the pumpkin patch, Curry Creek over in Start, and she said that basically right now they're holding their breath because at any time some little beady-eyed bureaucrat could come over there and find something that they're not doing according to not law, but regulations that are imposed by the various Department of Environmental Equality, the Health Department, whatever. She can't even sell a honey bun, a prepackaged honey bun, without getting this whole Health Department set up so they don't sell any food, But that's ridiculous. Do you know that is imploding us? Do you know that you cannot go and open a legitimate business anymore and make it, I mean, the guys up, the Republicans and the Democrats in Congress, they do just fine because half of that stuff, most of that stuff that they write, they are all exempt from. You know what I'm saying? So look at this very carefully, I don't care how good a guy, say, Neil Reiser is. I'm sure he's a good guy. I know he had a good gun bill he put last election cycle. But at the end of the day, most of these guys are establishment, and they're going to do what they call playing politics or, compromising to, advance the agenda, blah, 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 all that. I want somebody who's going to stand back like Ron Paul did and say, you know what? I don't care. I'm not going along, period. He was sometimes the only person voting in opposition to the establishment. The only person, many, many times, So me, I'm done with it. I will never, ever, 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 ever support an establishment politician, not one more time. Have a good weekend.